Shalom. I'll give honor and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Reminders to the others and possibly blessed don't talk with this just in sincerity, that this is too helpful that spirit of the footprints on earth. This is going to be another day to burn title, The Obey and Prosper. I'm going to start here in Deuteronomy 6:1 reads, Now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which the Lord, Yahweh, your power, commanded to teach you, that ye might do them in the land whether ye go to possess it. Right? Because these commandments have to be taught to the Israelites. Okay. And when you teach something to someone, you bring it out of them. So what Moses was doing, he was bringing out a good teacher will bring out the knowledge of the student. Okay. So they can practice it. Okay. Put what they've been taught into, action. Okay. That thou mightest fear the Lord, thy power to keep all his statutes and his commandments, which commands thee, thou and thy son and thy son's sons, all the days of thy life, that thy days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Israel, and observe to do it, that it may be well with thee, and that you may increase mightily, as the Lord most of thy fathers hath promised thee in the land that flows with milk and honey, which is the land of Canaan, promised land, okay? Land which is the land of Israel, okay? Flow with milk and honey is rich in, precious stone, the finest herbs, the finest, cattle, okay? Materials, minerals, the Lord, He's gonna show favor to the land, fruits, okay, of the trees, of the ground, gonna prosper. Hear, O Israel, the Lord, our power is one Lord. And this way you got the Numbers prayers from Numbers 6. Where it goes into Hear, O Israel. It's like that was in the right chapter. Deuteronomy 6:4, right? Yes. I'm so used to saying this in Hebrew that I forgot the English kind of. But yeah, so this is the Hebrew prayer. Shema Yasharala Yahweh Al Hayinawa Yahweh Nakhah, right? Which just means, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Yahweh is one power, right? There's only one Yahweh. There's only one Ancient of Days. There's only one, power that liveth forever, that created the whole world through his son, Yahushua. And thou shalt love the Lord thy power with all thine heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day should be in thy heart. And what love is an action, right? When you love someone, you have to not just tell them that you love them, you have to show it through your actions. Okay, how is there show that they love toward love their love towards the Lord, right? Through their actions, right? By keeping His commandments, by obeying His commandments, His statutes. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by thy way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. So repeat them again and again to your children. Talk about them when you are at home and when you are on the road, when you are going to bed, and when you are getting up, right? So that goes back to what? Praying. This is why we have to constantly pray too, okay? You know? And this is why we, constantly, rehearse. This is why we constantly rehearse righteous act, okay? And this is why we constantly put up videos, right? Because we're diligently, you know, seeking the Lord word. We're diligent are in the commandments of the word, word of the Lord. Okay. Repetition is the that's just saying that repetition is the base repetition is the mother of learning. Or repetition, the mother of learning, which emphasizes that consistent practice and review are essential for mastering any skill or knowledge. Okay. And yeah, we constantly go over everything, get repeated. Okay. The Lord repeats, you know, in the word, by we know that things repeat itself, right? Because it's important that, you know, it's important for the knowledge, right? And in the learning, right? Of the command of the Lord. And thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and thou shalt be as a frontlet between thy eyes. These are going back to the commandments. And thou shalt write them upon the posts of thy house and on thy gates. And it should be when the Lord thy power shall have brought thee into the land which he sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give thee great and goodly cities which thou buildest not, and houses full of all good things which thou fillest not, and what wells dig which thou diggest not, vineyards and olive trees which thou plantest not, when thou shalt have eaten and be full. Then beware lest thou forget the Lord, which brought thee forth out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy power, and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. Ye shall not go after other gods, of the people which are round about you. That's the number one commandment. Don't worship it. Don't have the God before Yahweh. Okay, before Yahweh. Don't worship any other idol. For the Lord thy power is a jealous power among you, lest the anger of the Lord thy power be kindled against thee, and destroy thee from off the face of the earth. Ye should not tempt the Lord your God as you tempted him in Mashah. Ye should diligently keep the commandments of the Lord your power, and his testimonies, and his statutes, which he has commanded thee. And thou should do that which is right and good in the sight of the Lord, that it might be well with thee, and that thou mightest go and possess the good land which the Lord swore unto thy fathers, to cast out all thy enemies from before thee, as the Lord hath spoken. And when thy son asketh thee in the time to come, saying, what mean these testimonies and these statutes and the judgments which the Lord our power hath commanded you? Then thou shalt say unto thy son, we are Pharaoh's bondmen in Egypt. It's like we were Pharaoh's bondmen in Egypt, and the Lord brought us out of Egypt with that mighty hand. And what he brought us out of Egypt, that mighty hand referring to Yahushua. And the Lord showed signs and wonders great and sore upon Egypt, upon Pharaoh, and upon all his households before our eyes. And he brought us out from thence, that he might bring us in to give us the land which he swore unto our fathers. And the Lord commanding us to do all these statutes, to fear the Lord our power, for our good always, that he might preserve us alive at this day. And it should be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Lord our power as he commanded us. All right. Yeah, so Israel, the reason why we're in the reason why Israel, right, the 12 tribes are in the position they're in now currently, right, starting from the southern kingdom, the head Judah, all the way down to the northern kingdom, is because but we refused to obey the commandments of the Lord. Okay, we couldn't keep the commandments of the Lord. We kept going worshiping other idols, doing what we wanted to do. Okay. The commandments never wasn't, Israel didn't repeat the commandments to their sons. Israel got tired, right? And they went and made a agreement with the heathen, okay? To live after the ways of the heathen, So yeah, I'm close here by giving all ongoing praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Shabbat, Shem, Kakrash. The next time, say Shalom.